Libra, my dear soul. Let me begin by telling you the truth you've been sensing in your spirit. Big money is coming into your life. A heartbreaking goodbye is unfolding. And an apocalyptic love is arriving with divine timing. If you clicked on this video today, it's not by chance. You've been guided here perhaps by an unseen force, an inner whisper, or maybe even an answered prayer. One thing is certain, this is not just another horoscope reading. This is a soul transmission, a sacred message for you, Libra, and it carries a depth you were meant to hear at exactly this moment in your life. This is Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and I am truly honored to be your guide today. Here, we don't just predict your future or help you remember your power, reawaken your intuition, and reclaim the destiny that's already yours. I've spent years mastering the wisdom of the stars, the silence of the cards, and the energetic frequency of transformation. And now, it's your turn to receive. So let me ask you, Libra, what if everything that once broke your heart was actually clearing the way for something much bigger? What if the person who walked away was never meant to stay forever but to prepare your soul for a love that feels like prophecy? What if the financial drought you've experienced was only the space being made for an unexpected flood of abundance? You see, the energy around you right now is undeniable. In the cards, I see contracts being signed, transfers being released, opportunities that don't knock, they burst through the door. I also see a soul who's been crying behind strength. A goodbye that never got the closure it deserved. But above alley see rebirth. And Libra, that rebirth is yours. Take a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself honestly, is there a part of your life, your past, or even your identity that you know is quietly ending? And is there a part of you that feels like it's being called towards something bigger, bolder, more aligned with who you're becoming? Because you are not watching this by coincidence. Your higher self is calling you home. Before we dive in deeper, I want to invite you into sacred action. If you feel even the slightest resonance with this message, drop into the comments and write, I am ready to receive what was always mine. This is not just a sentence, it's a spiritual contract. A vibration that confirms your alignment. When you write it, you're anchoring it in the physical realm. You're letting the universe and your own subconscious know that you're awake and ready. And please, let me take a moment to offer my heartfelt gratitude for your presence here. Every like, every comment, every subscription helps amplify this space of healing and hope. When you engage, you're not just supporting this channel, you're rejoining a family. A movement. A collective of souls who are walking into their purpose fully awake. So stay with me until the very end, Libra. Because what the universe is about to reveal next is breathtaking. There's a reason you're here. There's a miracle unfolding. Now tell me, my beautiful Libra tribe, what have you done recently that called this message into your life today? Let's find out together. Some chapters don't end with a door slamming shut, Libra, they dissolve, quietly, like mist at dawn. You don't always hear the goodbye when it happens. Sometimes, it lingers in the silence between text messages, in the pause after a sentence that never comes, in the empty chair across the table. And though the absence doesn't scream, it aches just the same. What you're feeling now may not have a name, but astrologically, it's no coincidence. With the moon aligning with Chiron and activating your 8th house, the domain of death, transformation, and emotional inheritance, you're being asked to honor a sacred ending. Not a punishment, but a passage. Not a rejection, but a realignment. In the language of the tarot, this moment often reveals itself as the Ten of Swords, or perhaps the Death card. Symbols not of demise, but of liberation. They tell us, this hurts because it mattered. But it's over because your soul is evolving. And I know, you may have thought this person, this chapter, was irreplaceable. That without it, you'd be lost. But you're not. You're right here. Watching this. Breathing through it. Which means you're already surviving what you thought you couldn't. This goodbye isn't about loss. It's about release. Because not every bond is meant to stay, Libra. Some connections come into our lives like scaffolding, holding us up while we build the real structure. And when it's time for them to go, we're meant to let go too, even if our hearts still remember the comfort of their arms. It's okay to grieve what could have been. It's okay to cry for what never fully bloomed. But don't confuse the duration of something with its purpose. Even temporary people can be eternal teachers. You may find yourself replaying old conversations, wondering what you could have said or done differently. That's natural. But healing isn't about rewriting the past, it's about choosing a different future. So here's a gentle invitation: write a letter. Not to send, but to set free. Pour it all out, what you loved, what broke you, what still lingers in your chest like smoke. Let the ink carry the weight that your body no longer needs to hold. This is more than a therapeutic exercise. It's a declaration to the universe: I'm ready to move on. I'm ready for peace. And Libra, even if faith isn't something you talk about often, there's something profoundly healing about trust. Whether it's in God, in your higher self, or in the quiet intelligence of life itself, know this: every ending is also an answer to a prayer you may not remember whispering. Sometimes, God closes the door we're begging to stay open because He's already opened one down the hall. And when you finally stop knocking on the past, you'll hear it. The future is calling. With softness. With promise. Let go, not because you're weak but because you're finally strong enough to stop fighting what no longer fits. Let go, not to forget, but to forgive. And not just them, but yourself. For staying too long. For hoping too hard. For loving with a heart that never learned to withhold. This isn't your failure. It's your freedom. You are not the person you were when this began. You're wiser now. Clearer. Closer to your truth. And even if you walk forward still feeling broken, remember this: healing often begins with one decision to not go back. You don't have to know what's ahead. You just have to know that you deserve more than what's behind you. So take one deep breath, Libra. And if you're ready, drop into the comments and write: I am letting go with grace, and I'm ready to receive peace. Because saying it out loud isn't just a choice, it's an energetic shift. One that tells the universe you're serious about your next chapter. And I promise you, what's coming next will make this goodbye feel like a blessing in disguise. Just when it feels like you've lost something, life has a mysterious way of returning more than you imagined in a form you never expected. And Libra, that's exactly what's happening now. The energetic space you've created by letting go of what no longer serves you has become fertile ground for something astonishing, an unexpected surge of abundance. Not only material, but deeply validating. The kind of blessing that reminds you, I am not forgotten. I am not invisible. I am provided for. Astrologically, this is not a random shift. Pluto, planet of deep transformation, is currently moving through your 2nd and 8th house axis, which rules money, possessions, self-worth, and shared resources. When Pluto activates these houses, it rarely brings subtle shifts. It breaks chains. It uproots outdated beliefs about scarcity. It teaches you to detach from the fear that you'll never have enough, and in return, it helps you step into a vibration of overflow. The kind that doesn't just improve your bank balance, it shifts your whole relationship with security and personal value. The tarot echoes this message with crystal clarity. I see the Ace of Pentacles offering a divine seed of prosperity. The Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. And the King of Pentacles grounding your financial future with calm certainty. These are not wishful symbols. They are confirmations. You are moving into a cycle where opportunities, financial surprises, or material blessings could come from the most unexpected places: a job offer, an inheritance, a refund, a gift, a new client, or even money owed to you finally being returned. What matters most is that you stay open. Not anxious. Open. This is where the law of attraction comes into play. Money, like all energy, responds to clarity and openness. When you cling to lack, you attract more reasons to feel lack. But when you affirm your worth, without needing to prove it, the universe rushes in to support that belief. Sometimes, when we release the wrong relationship, the wrong belief, or the wrong timing, that energy rushes out and money rushes in. It's not a reward. It's a rebalancing. If you've ever prayed through tears, worked hard in silence, or sacrificed quietly while others overlooked you, this is where your return begins. You're entering a harvest season. And harvest isn't random. It is directly connected to the seeds you've planted in faith. Even if you didn't see them growing underground, the roots were forming. The ground was shifting. Now, I don't want you to just listen, I want you to participate. Take a moment today to write down exactly what you wish to receive financially. Be specific. Feel it. Repeat it 3 times a day, not as a demand, but as a declaration. Something like, I am open to receive unexpected income and aligned opportunities. I welcome financial peace. This simple ritual is not just symbolic, it's magnetic. When paired with aligned actions, it becomes a force that calls abundance toward you with grace. This week, surround yourself with the color emerald green. Wear it, visualize it, decorate with it. Green is the color of the heart chakra, healing, and material wealth. Let it remind you that abundance and self-love go hand in hand. When you believe you're worthy of more, you create room to receive more. You don't have to force this. You don't have to chase it. Your only job is to align. To stay grounded in the belief that the universe wants you to thrive. Because it does. And even in the rush of life, even when you feel overlooked, there are miracles forming behind the scenes. You may not always see them coming, but when they arrive, you'll know they were always meant for you. Sometimes, the most powerful arrivals happen in silence. Not with fanfare, not with fireworks, but with a calm knowing. And Libra, that's what's unfolding now. You've walked through the ending. You've begun to receive the abundance. And now, your heart, perhaps fragile, perhaps stronger than ever, is preparing to recognize a presence it has been longing for, even in moments you tried to deny it. This is not about love as you've known it. It's about something deeper. Something soul-altering. Something that feels like recognition. From an astrological perspective, we are approaching a breathtaking alignment. Venus, your ruling planet, is forming a sacred trine with Neptune while simultaneously opposing Pluto. This cosmic configuration doesn't whisper about casual romance. It heralds emotional rebirth. Venus and Neptune weave illusions, beauty, and spiritual longing. Pluto demands truth, transformation, and intensity. Together, they activate a doorway, a threshold between old fears and a kind of love that doesn't just warm your skin, but awakens your soul. If you've pulled the Two of Cups recently or felt drawn to it, you already know. This is soulmate territory. The kind of connection that reaches you through time, through space, and sometimes through lifetimes. It's not about chemistry, though that will be undeniable. It's about resonance. The feeling that someone knows you, not because they've studied you, but because they've felt you long before meeting you. They don't come to fix you. They come to remind you that you were whole all along. And they won't arrive in chaos. They won't beg to be seen. They'll simply appear, and the moment you look in their eyes, something will settle inside you. Like a lock clicking into place. Like a storm quieting over still water. You may even resist it at first, questioning if it's too good to be true. That's natural. We all grow cautious after pain. But this love isn't here to test you. It's here to align you. In numerology, this moment vibrates with the number 6, a symbol of harmony, compassion, and love that heals. 6 isn't just romance. It's devotion. It's choosing peace over pride, showing up even when it's inconvenient, and offering safety in a world that often feels unsafe. The kind of love that allows you to breathe fully. To laugh without fear. To rest. Now I want to offer you something powerful, a simple 7-minute visualization that can begin drawing this connection closer. Tonight, or whenever you feel ready, sit in stillness. Place your hand over your heart. Imagine a gentle golden light pulsing from your chest. With each breath, see it extend outward, forming a thread of light across time and space. With your mind's eye, picture some face yet, just an energy receiving that light with openness. Let your breath move as if it's speaking, come home. You're not demanding. You're inviting. Because love, real love, responds not to force, but to frequency. Sometimes we forget that before we meet someone, we're already calling them in. Through the healing work we do. Through the lessons we survive. Through the space we create by letting go of what doesn't fit. And if you've been faithful with your inner journey, Libra, then know this, your soul's echo is already reaching theirs. You don't need to chase this. You don't need to search. Just become the clearest version of yourself and trust that they will find their way to your light. Because love like this doesn't come by accident. It comes by alignment. And what's meant for you is already on its way. There are moments in life when the real shift doesn't come from the outside world, but from the quiet decisions we make deep within. Libra, as you've begun clearing away emotional debris from the past relationship, the illusions of lack, and the heartbreak you didn't think you'd survive, something incredible has started to happen beneath the surface. You're being transformed not by what you've gained or lost, but by what you've endured with grace. The true healing now asks not for more action, but for gentleness, presence, and the courage to sit with your own heart. You may not even realize it, but some of the heaviness you've been carrying hasn't been about others at all. It's been about you. About the guilt you haven't voiced. The regret over words left unsaid. The anger that hides in the corners of your chest, not just towards someone else but toward yourself. Perhaps you've said to yourself, I should have known better, or why did I allow that? But dear soul, healing doesn't blossom in self-blame. It unfolds in self-compassion. Imagine for a moment that you've been walking through a dark forest, one where the path was unclear, the air was thick with uncertainty, and the silence was louder than your thoughts. You thought you were lost. You thought the darkness would swallow you whole. But here you are still standing. And in hindsight, you realize that the forest wasn't a punishment. It was a classroom. Every branch that scratched you, every step that felt heavy, was teaching you how to see the light more clearly when it returns. Because it is returning. In this sacred phase, the magic isn't in doing more. It's in learning how to rest. How to regulate your nervous system so your body believes it's safe to receive joy again. From a self-help perspective, simple lifestyle shifts can change everything. Try reducing caffeine this week. It may be fueling your anxiety more than you realize. Increase green vegetables and natural foods to support adrenal healing. Go for a walk early in the day, allowing the morning sunlight to recalibrate your internal rhythms. You are an earth sign at heart. Your healing will always be anchored through your body. One practice that I personally recommend, especially during intense emotional recalibration, is the 4-7-8 breathwork. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold gently for 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. Repeat it for just 5 minutes and you'll begin to feel your inner waters settle. The storm isn't permanent. But your ability to find stillness within it has your superpower. And if you're someone who finds comfort in words, take a few minutes to open a sacred text, maybe the Psalms, or any passage that speaks of restoration and divine grace. Don't read for instruction, read for connection. Let the sentence that stirs your heart the most be the message you carry with you this week. Write it down. Put it on your mirror. Let it speak to you like the voice of an angel whispering, "You're not alone in this." Sometimes, we wait for signs in the sky, but forget that miracles often bloom in silence. Sign the moment we forgive ourselves, release the need to be perfect, and choose peace over punishment. Healing is not linear, Libra. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're unfolding exactly as you were meant to. And every part of your journey, even the hard chapters, has led you here. To this breath. To this awakening. To this sacred becoming. So today, give yourself permission to exhale. To drop the armor. To remember that your softness is not weakness, it's the garden where your future will bloom. And so, here you are, Libra, standing at the edge of a chapter you never thought you'd close, yet feeling the pull of a future brighter than anything you've dared to imagine. You've walked through heartbreak. You've opened space for abundance. You've felt the stirrings of a love that seems written in the stars. And now, something greater is calling, the realization that none of this is happening to you. It's happening because of you. Because deep down, whether consciously or not, you've chosen to grow. You've chosen to trust. And that single choice has shifted everything. In astrology, the final moments of transformation are rarely loud. They arrive like a whisper from the cosmos, an invitation rather than an instruction. And right now, that whisper is embodied in the energy of the star. This tarot archetype represents more than hope, it represents alignment with your divine path. After all the shaking, the clearing, and the surrendering, the star shows up to remind you that there is light ahead, gentle, guiding, and completely yours. But here's the truth: no one can walk through that light for you. Only you can decide to step into it. Everything in your chart right now is pointing towards self-leadership. Not the kind that forces or pushes, but the kind that trusts its own timing. Uranus, the planet of awakening, continues to tug on your awareness, nudging you to see that the old ways of pleasing, of shrinking, of waiting for someone else to choose you, those days are over. The universe doesn't want your perfection. It wants your presence. It wants your truth. Because only when you're honest with yourself about what you desire, what you fear, what you dream, can you magnetize the life meant for you. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean you won't still feel the ache of the goodbye. It doesn't mean there won't be moments when doubt whispers louder than faith. But it does mean that you now have something stronger than certainty. You have clarity. You can't unknow what you've come to understand. You've seen the patterns. You've recognized your worth. And from here on, your life moves in the direction of your courage. I want you to visualize this moment as a room with two doors. One is familiar. It smells like memory. It echoes with voices of the past. It tempts you with safety. The other is quiet. New. Mysterious. But behind it lies the treasure, the financial blessing that changes how you live, the soulmate who sees into your spirit, the mission that finally feels like home. That door doesn't open automatically. It waits for your hand. And yes, it takes faith. But haven't you already survived enough to know your own strength? This week, surround yourself with the color lilac. It's not just beautiful, it's awakening. It softens the heart while sharpening intuition. Wear it, meditate with it, or place it somewhere you'll see it daily. Let it be your reminder that you are not waiting to be chosen anymore. You are choosing. You are leading. You are remembering that your destiny is not written in stone, it's written in the moments you decide to believe in yourself again. And remember this, you don't need to earn love by performing. You don't need to fix yourself to be worthy of abundance. You don't need to beg the universe for signs, it's already speaking through every heartbeat, every synchronicity, every tug in your gut that says, go forward. The only question now is, will you listen? So Libra, take this as your sign. The door is open. The miracle is near. And the next move is entirely yours. Libra, if you've made it this far, then you already know this message was meant for you. Not by chance. Not by coincidence. But because your soul is finally ready to rise to a new chapter, and the universe brought you here as confirmation. Everything you've heard in this reading, everything your heart felt stirring, none of it was random. It was your intuition remembering something your mind had forgotten, that you are not just a witness to your destiny. You are the one who activates it. Now, I want to invite you to pause and breathe, just for a moment. Ask yourself gently, what am I still holding on to that no longer honors my light? What story, belief, or relationship am I allowing to define me, even though I've already outgrown it? And more importantly, am I truly open to receiving the abundance, love, and peace I've been praying for? Because here's the truth, the miracle can't pour into hands that are still clenching the past. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are only being asked to be willing. And that willingness, that sacred yes, is all the universe needs to begin moving mountains on your behalf. So let's make it official. In the comments below, write this declaration with your whole heart: I am ready to receive every miracle that has been waiting for me. I release what no longer serves my light. Yes, say it. Type it. Claim it. Because when you speak it out, you make it real, not just in spirit, but in form. And if this message touched you, if something in your chest softened, or your vision cleared even just a little, please like this video. That tiny gesture is actually a ripple of energy. It tells the algorithm, and more importantly, the universe, that this kind of healing needs to reach more souls. Subscribe to Zodiac Whisper Tarot so you never miss another divine download tailored just for you. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because when the next message arrives, you'll want to be the first to feel it. You are not alone on this journey, Libra. This is more than a reading, it's a sacred reunion with the truth you've always known. You are worthy of joy, of wealth, of love that sees you fully. You are not too late. You are not too much. You are exactly on time. And everything you've been through has not disqualified you, it has prepared you. So from this moment forward, walk like the light you are. Let your decisions be a reflection of the healing you've chosen. Let your boundaries speak of your rebirth. Let your joy become non-negotiable. Because the world needs what only you can bring, and it's finally time to stop hiding and start shining. Thank you for allowing me into your space, your energy, and your story today. Thank you for showing up with courage, with honesty, with a heart ready to transform. You are seen. You are supported. And you are so deeply loved. This is Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and it has been my honor to walk beside you. Until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and remember, your light was never meant to be dimmed, it was meant to illuminate everything.